Yes. Ooh, I'm very zoomed in.
What's going on? We're back. We're live with a big stream because you know what's happening. You know what time it is. Bernardo staying at City, Bray.
This is good news.
This is big news.
There's loads of people like, I told you, boys. I told you he was staying. But you know what I mean? It's looking likely that he's going to stay. Unless Barcelona are going to say something like, do you know what I mean, give us 100 mil at the last minute. But do you know what I mean? They can't even think it. They can't even register their own players. So it's looking good. Bernardo seems to have had a change of heart. He's just moved into a new house in Manchester. There's lots to go through. There's loads to go through. He's absolutely smashing it. Is Bernardo. And I'm buzzing, bro. Absolutely buzzing. There's nothing more to just round off this transfer window than to just keep Bernardo Silva at the football club. Do you know what I mean? We've got a left back now. So everything that'd just be the last piece of the puzzle, just to keep him. If he's happy, that is.
yeah, guys, we'll take you through the latest developments for people tuning in and not sure what's gone on. We'll take you through the latest news. Big news is coming out, and it is suggesting, really, that Bernardo Silva is going to stay at Man City, guys. So, yeah, it's obviously a great day if true, and we believe it to be true. And we'll take you through all that. Before we get into it, guys, make sure you drop a like on the stream. We're currently 10 likes away from 200 likes. Get those likes up for us. Subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Massive shout out to BetVictor. They sponsored today's stream. I'll be playing you a little clip from them in a moment or two. They basically did a full episode yesterday roasting United. It was quite funny. Will Coldridge is a member. He's had his say on this Bernardo situation. He says, yes, I'm buzzing. The Bernardo is staying. The Bernardo is staying.
The one and only.
This is great news for us. Yes, Min. It is great news that the Bernardo is staying, Will. And we've got two new Xtra Club members. We've got Chris Graves, who's just joined for the first time. Good to have you with us, Chris. Thanks a lot for joining, man. And Cameron MCFC, who's been a member for 8 months, rejoining there as well. Appreciate both of you guys. Link can be found in the description for that. But yeah, guys, breaking news coming out today. Bernardo Silva is looking like he's going to stay at Manchester City. And I don't want to push it too far, bro. There've been one or two suggestions that there might even be a new contract.
Yeah, I've seen that. An extension to... Does his current one run out in 2025?
Correct, yeah.
So, an extension to that. That's if he wants to stay. I mean, that's if he's had a full change of heart. But at the least, at the moment, he's going to stay for this season.
Yeah.
Something that we said from the off anyway was that he was going to stay for this season anyway. We kind of went on the whole hype of him leaving next year and us getting a replacement in next year. Now, I think City should continue to look for a Bernardo replacement if he's going to stay this year, because obviously we don't know if he's going to sign that contract. If he signs the contract, then buzzing, we don't have to replace him at all. However, I think City need to be smart with this, continue monitoring other players. Do you know what I mean? Like Jude Bellingham and stuff like that was a link for next year.
Yeah.
So keep monitoring the other players in case Bernardo does decide that he wants to leave. I'm honestly buzzing if he stays this year.
Yeah.
Just as long as he is actually happy, like, do you know what I mean? You don't want a guy just getting about, moping about. But Bernardo ain't that kind of guy anyway.
Nah, he's not, no. You know what's funny, actually? I've seen someone on Twitter give a very good suggestion about what City and Bernardo Silva should do. Now, if you think back to last week when we had a discussion about Bernardo Silva, and at that point, it wasn't looking great, let's be honest. And we were saying that basically it looks... like, it certainly looked to me anyway, some people might disagree, but it certainly looked to me like Bernardo Silva just wanted to go to Barca. It didn't look to me like he was so desperate to leave City that he'd go anywhere, because there was no interest from PSG, Bayern Munich, Juventus. And I just felt that a player as talented as Bernardo Silva, if he really did want to leave, he'd basically tell his agent just to get him a move anywhere. And it seemed like the only possible destination was Barcelona. So I've seen a really good comment on Twitter today, and I think it would be perfect for both parties. We know, and we all know as fans, that Bernardo Silva seems to be happy playing football at City, but he'd rather be playing at Barcelona for one reason or another. We're not going to go into that. So I just checked. Bernardo Silva is apparently reported to be on £150,000 a week, which for someone like him, it's quite ridiculous to say, is very, very low. He should be on at least 250k a week.
Oh, yeah.
So why don't City and Bernardo sit down together, get him a new contract, put him on the cash that he deserves, whether that's 200, 250, 300, I'm not debating that, and then put some sort of release clause in to say, if Barcelona come and offer £100 million by a certain date in a transfer window, so they can't offer it on the 31st of August is what I'm saying, they've got to offer it by the 1st of August or something like that in a transfer window, then we'll let you go. So then Bernardo Silva's then getting paid what he should be paid, although I don't think any of this situation has been about money at all. City had then got him contracted down for another couple of years, because like you said, he's only got a contract until 2025, and both Bernardo Silva and Barcelona know that if they want him and Bernardo wants to go there, he can go relatively easy if they pay up 100 million, and let's be honest, he's worth every single penny of that. So it's not like City are putting some mad sort of release clause in, and then just everyone knows, the fans know where we're at, the player knows where we're at, and then he gets a pay bonus. The club know where we're at in terms of they've got him secured for another couple of years, but they also know that if he's going to leave, the cash will be in, and Barcelona know exactly what it is. I thought it was a brilliant suggestion, because at the end of the day, I don't think nothing's changed overnight. I don't think Bernardo's still like, oh, I'm buzzing, I'm going to commit my future for the next 10 years, I'm going to retire here. I still think he probably has that dream or hope of playing for Barca, but if there's an easy way of getting him out and it works for everyone, it works for all parties, I think it's a brilliant suggestion, and it gets his pay up again.
I don't see why they wouldn't go for that, because Bernardo should be happy with that contract, given the fact that he does have a release clause, he has his way out, and then it's only doing what we've said for the past year anyway, that if the offer comes in, then you can leave. It's only doing that, but putting it in writing. Correct, like, because right now, an offer could come in and we could just say, oh, no, you're not worth that anymore, you're worth more.
If anything, it's better for Bernardo.
Yeah, it makes more sense, because you can say to Bernardo Silva, look, here's your value, here's what we value you. Someone offers you that, the £100 million, someone offers you that, then they can have you, you can leave. But until then, I mean, you have to see out your contract.
Providing it's done by a certain date.
Yeah,
so
obviously they should put that in. Whether they do put that in, obviously it's City. But if they do if this is something that they were going to run with, I think it'd be a really, really good move on both parties, because then we're protected by getting our valuation, and Bernardo's protected in the way that he can leave the football club if someone pays it.
Yeah. Guys, let me know what you think of that. As I say, it's not my idea. I seen it on Twitter this morning, and I was reading it, and I thought, you know what, that's a fucking sick idea. It works for everyone, and everyone's then clear. Because you're right, bro, what you're saying there is, Barca could offer us 100 million right now, and City could go, nah. You've left it too late, and then that doesn't help Bernardo Silva, and then we're all in a bit of a mess. Barca are giving us the money that we wanted. We're like, yeah, well, we did want that money, but you've left it too late. Bernardo's like, you wanted that money, you've got the money, why don't you let me go? And City like, well, we can't really let you go now, because then it's too hard for us to get a replacement in. You put it in black and white, which is what we've said for so long on the channel. Everyone in the contract should everyone who's got a contract in football should have this sort of deal in it. Put it in black and white, then you ain't got no problems. No one can argue, because at the end of the day, if it's in the contract, it's in the contract. Benji Yag, yes, member for 8 months. Thanks a lot for the support, man. Says, this was so obvious to me. My mates said I was mad, but I got myself 50 quid once transfer window ends. Bet he stayed. Keep up the good work, lads. City side eye. So confident there from Benji. It sounds like you got 50 quid, bro. It's not over until it's over, though. So don't count your chickens.
Yeah, I can't tell whether Benji's put that as if he bet 50 quid and him leaving, but then he's staying, so he's happy. Do you know what I mean? Or he's bet 50 quid on him staying, and now he's won 50 quid.
Could be, I'm not sure.
Could be either way. That Chris, yes, welcome to the Xtra Club, mate.
Another Chris.
New member, another Chris. Also Cameron before the MCFC. I know you read that out, but someone in the chat before was like, another Cameron. There's so many people with the same name.
Chris's and Cameron.
Lots of Chris's and Camerons and Wills, bro. I didn't say the Darcy Club then, because I've seen Darcy's name there. The Xtra Club is just filled with people called Will. I'm not sure why, but it's a very, very popular name among the Xtra Club. What I was going to say then, yeah, we are going to record the Extra Club videos. Someone asked about it before. We are going to record them. We'll probably get them like recorded this week to next week. We need to do them rapid, and there's quite a few to do. So the goals are still a thing. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, the next goal is 400, and we can work on what video that'll be. But right now, we owe you a Hot Ones video and a football video. So, do you know what I mean? We'll get them to you as soon as possible. And Pep Guardiola is clear as Sir Alex Ferguson. Hashtag facts with a 179 says, Nunes is in my FPL team as triple captain.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. We will probably touch on that in a little bit later.
That's a rip. If you actually put him in your FPL as triple captain last week, then you've been murked.
Yeah, we'll probably have a little bit of a laugh at Liverpool, because they're going through a bit of a mad stage. Right, okay, people are asking, where's all this news come from? So we're going to go through the bit of a timeline that's developed over the last 24 hours. Before we do, guys, as I said before, today's sponsor of the video is BetVictor. We've got a quick clip to show you, and then we'll get back to the Bernardo stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad I won that. Man United, they've been the perennial Premier League champions, 13 Premier League titles. Now they are dismal. They play embarrassing levels of football. The standard is so low. They spent £1 billion in the last 6 years. The United fans are entitled. They're toxic. They got really bad energy in the football landscape. I'm so glad United are being banged by Brentford, who have never been in the Premier League before last season, and Brighton at home. All these guys are trying to pick up records against United, and I'm loving it. I think it will be 7 losses in a row and Ten Hag out, just like Frank de Boer at Crystal Palace.
Seven losses in a row and Ten Hag out. What are you saying? Do you think that's going to happen or what?
Well, I mean, they are in. I've seen some people saying actually that should Ten Hag walk, because that squad that he's got there is just nowhere near good enough for the style of football that he wants to play. And in fact, I actually tweeted last week saying the squad, Ten Hag's one of the worst managers that United could possibly have right now with that squad of players. They just can't play his style of football. It leaks, the constant leaks. I'm starting to get bored of these leaks, man, because they're not fun anymore. Leaks are supposed to be like once every so often. Every day you're getting a leak coming out of Old Trafford. So it's a madness what's going over there at that football club. It's very, very funny, but yeah, it is crazy.
I do think it is a wild situation at United at the moment. We spoke about this on Monday when we did the Premier League review show, the weekend review. We spoke about this more on Monday, but it is pretty wild how the situation that they found themselves in, and obviously they go into that in detail. It's nice now because you can see like the big sixes, you know what I mean, the BetVictor shows coming out, and you can kind of sit and watch it and just have a laugh in it of what's going on, especially Liverpool dropping points as well. Yeah,
no, it is absolutely wild. Guys, if you want to watch that full video, it's very, very entertaining. I watched the full thing last night. The link is in the description. If you go over there, subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment on it, let them know that City actually sent you on that. Help support the channel. Appreciate you guys. Right, we want a bit of a timeline then on this whole Bernardo Silva situation, because I've seen a few people in the chat saying, what's going on, where's this come from, is it clickbait? It's not clickbait, bro. Yes, Gene, and I appreciate you, man. Bernardo Silva running down the wing, he's having a bit of a sing-song.
Yes, Gene, the GOAT, man.
Yeah, right, let's go through it then. Bernardo Silva, and this all sort of came out, it's very, very basically today, and Oliver Kay this morning said Bernardo Silva is now understood to be focusing firmly on the season ahead with Man City. The past few days have brought a softening in the player's position and an apparent willingness to forget about a move, at least for the coming season. And this is quite interesting because you remember, I think it was last week, bro, or the week before, someone reported that Bernardo Silva was starting to get a little bit frustrated at what was happening with the whole Barcelona situation in terms of them being really slow. Because if he's spoken to Barcelona at the beginning of the transfer window, they probably said, oh yeah, we'll have this done rapid in a couple of weeks, don't you worry, it'll all be sorted. We've now started the season. And he's probably like, doesn't know whether he's coming or going. We had the reports coming out last week or the week before saying he's starting to get frustrated at the situation. You can completely understand why. And maybe now he's just at a point where it's like, you know what, nah, I need to be focused, because what I can't have is you guys telling me that you're signing me, and then 1st of September comes and I'm still a City player, and then I've got to get my head back into the City situation. And as professional as Bernardo Silva can be, if he sets his sights on Barca and fully focuses on Barca, and then they suddenly pull the plug, and then he's got to realign himself with the City way, that's not easy for anyone, regardless of how professional you are. So maybe he's just had enough and he's just thought, fuck it, I'm staying here for at least another year.
Well, the thing is with that is obviously there's rumour of him agreeing personal terms, which he probably did. It's probably very easy to agree personal terms with Barcelona, especially when you want to leave the football club. Him agreeing terms with Barcelona, obviously the dream move is kind of set. They've just got to pay the cash, and then obviously all these levers keep getting activated and not activated, and I mean they're going for a bit of a mess. That's worrying from Bernardo Silva's side. So maybe he's just thought, you know what, from now we'll I'll call it. This year's a rip. I'm not moving now. It's too late. It's not going to happen. City don't want to move me. It's getting too late in the window for them to allow me to leave. I'll stay for another year, and then next year we can go at it again. Obviously, this is pending he doesn't sign another contract. But I just think he's probably pissed off in himself at Barcelona, but it was not at City, because City's sitting there in the same stance as well as last year. We're saying they pay the cash, you can go.
Yep. As we do with everyone.
Yeah, you know what I mean. We don't want people in the club that don't want to be here, and that's Pep's way. But
you have to pay the money.
That understanding.
Not a charity,
no. We're not just giving people away. We can't just say, you don't want
to be here? You're having for 10 mil.
Here's a free Bernardo coupon. Take this. I mean, so stump up the cash, and you can leave the football club. Then it's up to the player and his agent to go and find a football club willing to pay that cash.
Yeah,
he wanted to go to Barcelona, but they're not going to pay that cash. So I think, but after the weekend as well, the reception that he got the weekend, I just think Bernardo Silva's kind of gone, you know what? I can stay here for another year.
Yeah, and this is obviously great news. And the interesting thing is now, Oliver Kay also mentioned it's an Athletic article, by the way. If any of you's got Athletic, you'll read the full article there. That maybe some people at City believe that he might be open to signing a new deal, and obviously this goes back to what we spoke about earlier on in the stream, where we were saying that if City could get a deal done with Bernardo Silva with a release clause, because I think there's quite a lot of respect between Bernardo Silva and City and the club hierarchy, because I think that he's such a good professional and he knows the business that he's in. He knows that City are not just going to sell him on the cheap, you know what I mean? If they're going to sell him, it's going to be at the fair price. So maybe Bernardo and City will now get together and go, right, okay, I'm on 150k, which, based on how good I am to this team, is a bit of a joke. Let's do a deal. Let me get on a new contract and let's put some sort of thing in the contract where it's got a release clause in there. City can protect themselves by doing that as well, guys, by having clearly defined figures and dates that this release clause can be activated. And Bernardo Silva can then, go to clubs. If he really wants to get off next season or the year after, you can go to clubs and say, that's the price, that's when you have to pay for it. If you deposit the money into their account, I'm your player. There's no negotiating. I mean, we all know about release clauses. We're the king of release clauses, guys. And in this scenario, I don't actually think it would hurt to put one in the contract. I think it'd protect us all around. Because right now, if you think about it, we are I'd say a little bit in a vulnerable position. Now, I know that if we're going to sell him, it has to be for big cash. But if we lost Bernardo Silva now, we've got, 12, 13 days left to get a replacement in? That's vulnerable. That's vulnerable, regardless of how much you get for him. I don't care if people go, yeah, but LB, we're getting 100 mil. Yeah, but you lost Bernardo Silva with under 2 weeks to go. That's a vulnerable position. If you put this in the contract, you're sorted.
If you take this back to 2 weeks ago when we was doing streams about this, quite a lot of streams about this, we said that if Bernardo was to go, then he would have to have pretty much gone by now for City to be happy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's only 2 weeks left. So
correct.
I think it's a little bit too little too late. And plus, they've still not even registered the players. There's 2 weeks to go in the transfer window.
They've registered a few, bro. Last I saw.
They've registered a few. I think is it Kunde who's not registered yet?
I think Kunde's not registered, I believe. Chattel no.
It's wild. It's actually wild, the situation that they're in. Like, they don't have cash, basically. They have no cash. Do you know what I mean? They are pulling the levers and that. But I genuinely don't see £100 million bid coming from Barcelona for Bernardo
Did you see
Silva.
the thing as well, Bob? Apparently next summer they've got to pay Sergio Busquets and Piqué about €40 million each. Like loyalty bonus / deferred wages. So they've got to find another 100 million next summer. That's on top of all the transfer fees that they paid this year, which is about 100 mil, with probably, in fact, more, probably 150, plus the 17 million that they already owe Frenkie de Jong, plus whatever deferred wages they've got on the rest of the players. Our club is going bust, guys. It's going bust. Bit more news on Bernardo Silva before we do. Got a couple more super chats here. David Robinson here, the big OG motherfucker. Yes, coming in with a 179.
Yes, David. How are you good, mate?
Oliver coming in with a 449 says if Bernardo does stay, he's going to have to work his way back into the team because Gundo is prime Mr. Whippet right now. And Massum on top of that also says with a 2, given Gundogan's form, does Bernardo get back into the team?
I don't think so.
Very good question.
I don't think so, not straight away.
Very good question.
Because in this current setup that we're doing, Gundogan fits it perfectly and he's on fire. I mean, he scored at the weekend. He assisted Haaland last week pretty much. I mean, won the ball that got in for the pen. He's absolutely, honestly, he works so well in this team. And he's now captain. So it's going to be difficult for Bernardo to take his spot. But obviously, you will see Bernardo in this team. Bernardo will get runs.
Well, the thing is,
that's how good he is.
Both Kevin De Bruyne and Gundogan are both over 30 years old. They both had a few injuries over the last few years. Bernardo's the youngest one out of the lot. He's the fittest out of the lot. He runs the most out of the lot. He gets the least injuries out of the 3 as well. So, like say, he's going to play a lot of football. He'll be if he doesn't start, he'll be subbed on every single game because he just will be. Maybe we might see him a little bit right wing this season as well. We did see that in the early game or pre-season game. We've seen him drop into our right wing position, so maybe he'll play there a few more times. But he will come into it. I think Bernardo Silva's at his best in the bigger games. I don't think you need Ilkay and Kevin De Bruyne in the bigger games. I think that you can afford, because teams, when you play in the bigger games, it doesn't always happen, like when you play like Chelsea or something, but when you play a bigger team, usually they try and attack you a little bit more. Leaves a little bit more space. So I don't think you need Kevin Gundogan in the bigger game. I think you do need a Bernardo Silva to do the space. But when you're playing at home against a defensive team, you need goals. And one thing that I've always been consistent with is Gundogan will give you more goals and assists per 90 minutes than Bernardo Silva will.
That's facts.
So
that's just facts.
Yeah, maybe Gundogan will play, you know, the games where teams are more defensive, and Bernardo will come in for the bigger games. But look, that's we don't need to discuss that too much. That's obviously just a brilliant situation that we're in, that we're able to discuss whether we've got Gundogan or Bernardo Silva in a team.
There's also a shout for Bernardo to play right wing as well. Obviously, with the right wing situation that we got with just Mahrez and Palmer on that side. We've seen when we brought Alvarez and Haaland on. I can't remember which game it was. Was it the Community Shield? I can't remember. Whichever game that we brought Haaland, it might have been West Ham. Basically, Bernardo went onto that right hand side, whereas Alvarez pushed in as like a second striker. So, do you know what I mean, that is a very
I think
viable
it was the Liverpool
option.
Community Shield game, but
I couldn't remember. It was one of them two anyway. Community Shield it was, yeah.
Pep Guardiola is clear of Sir Alex Ferguson. #facts with a £4.49 says hopefully we can win the Champions League this season. Now, bro, I think Gundogan's taking us there, man. I think Gundogan's taking us to the UCL.
to be fair, I'm in that boat as well. But I also thought David Silva was taking us there.
Nah.
Do you know what I mean? Every year, whoever's captain, I'm like, they're taking us there.
Yeah.
But it never happens. Fernandinho, he's taking us there.
I think it's happening. I think UCL this season, I think Istanbul, Gundogan is going to take us there. Tinsay, yes, coming in with a 2, says 250 grand a week wage, £80 million release clause. Oh, yeah, you're asking a question. Yeah, 80 mil, something like that, like 80 to 100 mil, I think.
Well, to be fair, the price that we've got set is 100 million euros, so it's around 80 million pounds. So, do you know what I mean? 80 million pound release clause, 250 grand weekly wage. So he's not just getting nothing for staying; he is getting more money for staying whilst he stays for an extra year, or for however long he stays, with obviously that release clause in his contract.
Yeah, there you go. Right, a bit more news on Bernardo Silva, and this was one that really got City fans absolutely gassed this morning on Twitter, and this was Jose Alvarez. Now, some of you might be asking, who is Jose Alvarez? Basically, he's the guy who used to leak team 11s before the starting 11s before the game kicked off, and somehow he managed to get all that. We pretty much know how he got that. You only have to look at his social media, but it is what it is. Anyway, he's saying that Bernardo Silva is going to buy a new house in Manchester. Yes, that's right, buy. Ain't renting this guy. That's a big commitment, bro. And maybe this is tying in with a bit of the contract negotiation. Why is he buying a house, mate? Why is he not just renting one?
Yeah, it's pretty weird that buying a house in Manchester is a bit weird if you want to go to Barcelona. Say if you think that you're getting off, you ain't just gonna buy a house, do you know what I mean? Or I might be leaving to Barcelona in the next couple of weeks. I know I'll buy a house and move in there, and then I'll go. Do you know what I mean? That ain't a thing. But I thought, Sky Blue said Bernardo already did buy the house. See, I thought he'd already bought it. I thought it was ages ago he bought it. Do you remember when we had the conversation? He was getting a kitchen fitted.
Yeah, but this is confirmed, man. Jose, you know what I mean? This guy, the king of leaks. You know what I'm saying? This guy speaks, you listen.
He's obviously he's either bought a house or he's buying a house in Manchester. That just all the signs point toward him staying. If he's buying a house, he's staying.
Yeah. Masson with a £2 donation says Bernardo moving house. Things are happening, bro. You know what I mean? It's good.
Wait, Lizzie says there he can use it as an Airbnb whilst he's in Spain. See, that's facts. That's facts. He could just be renting it out.
Don't say that. But yeah, you know, things are moving. You know, City fans are clearly buzzing about this. You know, it's coming from a number of sources. And what do we always say? We always say when a number of different sources from different organisations are all saying the same thing, it's pretty much true. You know what I'm saying? Because they've all got it from somewhere. So this is really, really positive news. Benno's come in with a good point, actually. He says the reception he got on Saturday was massive. Loads of people have said this. You know what I mean? I've spoken to a couple of mates at the game, and they said the reception that Bernardo got at the game, throughout the game when he was on the pitch, was absolutely incredible. And this is what I always say to people. Fans have the power to make a difference to things. Fans at the stadium have a power because they can, you know, in person.
You're the voice that's heard.
You could. But I also say, people who are 3,000 miles around the world or whatever, or I don't know, on the opposite side of the world, you also have a point because you're on social media. I'm telling you now, players read what you put on social media. They don't read every single comment. Of course they don't. There's far too many. But they do read it. They will go on Instagram. They will go on Twitter and they'll see what people are saying. You only have to look at Edison as a base case when he deactivated his Instagram or whatever because everyone was giving him all those shit at the end of the season. They see what's happening and you have an impact. And I'm telling you, man, it's important that you understand that. When you go, oh, I'm just tweeting it, he'll never see it. Nah, not true. Not true. These people, they're just like me and you when they go on the Twitter or the Instagram. They'll see the comments, which is why it's always important to try and be level-headed, man, and not trying to get too gassed in it. You know what I'm saying? Or, well, you can't get gassed. That's a positive thing, but don't try and
don't
roast
murk
players
them
all
in
the time.
it. Yeah, because and plus it's just negative energy that no one needs.
Imagine if people was on social media, bro, like a couple of weeks ago and saying, just fucking get this guy out of the club, he's a snake, all this kind of stuff.
I mean, they were.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, but there wasn't.
Bro,
there was very few people saying
our chat was filled with people going Bernardo a snake because I was like, Bernardo's not a snake.
There wasn't that many though. That's what I'm saying. Though, if loads of City fans are getting on to the players on social media saying they're a snake, get rid, he'll probably just go, oh, I'm getting off then because you know the relationship's soured. Luckily for us, there was a very, very, very small minority, man, of people who were saying that. And even the people that I really saw saying that was saying it in a sort of respectful way and in that if he wants to leave, just let him leave rather than, you know, slating the guy. So that's why it's always important, man, for the fan base just to be chilling it, you know what I'm saying? Cause
yeah, see, one voice there, he said he was guilty of it. He's guilty of being one of the snake guys. I mean, out of love. You was out of love. What's he back in love now, mate? Nah. Now you've been kicked out of the Bernardo Club for going online and giving him abuse, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Through thick and thin and all that.
Through thick and thin,
you know
yeah, mate. One voice, you're kicked out of the Bernardo Club indefinitely, mate. Yeah, I think the reception on Saturday would have done a big thing as well. Because as much as you can read it online, go into the game and then seeing it like that, that would have been mad for him. And obviously he went and clapped all the stands, then, you know what I mean, afterwards, which was mint. That to me kind of pointed towards him leaving, to be honest. When you see that kind of stuff, it's usually the players going, not staying. But I think he obviously put a message on Twitter as well about it as well. Then he's saying that he appreciated it a lot, and maybe that is something that has pointed towards this change of heart. That could have been something. Do you know what I mean? Something like that can change your mind because he can, if he feels the love from the fans, that could be something where he can go, yeah, you know what? If I leave here, I'm leaving these fans. I'm leaving this experience that I'm getting right now. And there's no guarantee that when he goes to Barcelona, they're going to do like that. Do you know what I mean? If he goes to Barcelona for £100 million and he has a shit game, first thing that they're going to do is boo you, mate.
Yeah. Just a little bit of news coming out on the flip side. Gerard Romero has maintained.
Has he doubled down?
He said karma Bernardo Silva. Yeah, so he's telling Barcelona fans to chill out. We'll have to wait and see. You know what I mean? The news coming out of the British press today from a couple of different sources is that he's going to stay. He's bought a new house and he's going to commit his immediate future to Manchester City, which means this season. A couple of people saying he might even sign a new deal. We'll just have to see what happens on that one. But there is still going to get this guy pecking our heads from Barcelona saying he's still going.
Romero's from, obviously, he's Barca's mouthpiece, isn't it? So he's going to try and keep the hope alive for it. He's going to keep pushing this, and Barca probably will as well. Laporta probably will if he gets asked about it. He'll keep pushing it, keep trying to say, oh, he wants it. Do you know what I mean? And they are going to come in with the bid. Whether that bid actually comes or not, it's obviously whether they get the cash and whether or not Bernardo wants to say. Honestly, if Bernardo signed a new contract now and it was announced like in the next week or so, that'd be so good. It's such a big fuck you to Barcelona. Do you know what I mean? If it was announced the day before we go and do that shit friendly, then Barcelona and then Bernardo goes there and has a worldie. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, you should have paid the cash, mate. But yeah, do you know what I mean? I'm happy for Laporta and Romero to take these L's if Bernardo stays. And like I say, all signs pointing towards him staying, which is good. I'm absolutely buzzing for it.
It is mad. Guys, keep your comments coming in about the Bernardo Silva thing. What are you guys saying? Make sure after this stream you go check out the BetVictor video where they just roasted United pretty much for 20 minutes yesterday with a little bit of Tottenham talk in there, which was quite interesting as well. I watched the full thing yesterday. Very, very good episode. Link is in the description. When you go over there, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like their stream, and obviously let them know where you came from in terms of the stream, not geographic location.
Yeah,
I want to just
City
have a
Xtra,
quick
innit?
chat about the whole Liverpool situation. Obviously, they drew. Darwin Núñez got sent off, which was very, very funny.
Oh yeah, because we spoke about this on Monday, innit? Because by the way, obviously we introduced a new thing in it on Mondays to do like a review show kind of thing at the weekend, which is a good idea because we can look at like everything that we've kind of gone through. But you weren't here in it to bask in the elegance of drop points.
It was very, very good. I thought that Darwin Núñez really showed that he was a bit naive in that game, and I don't think Jurgen Klopp was happy at all.
Oh, he's fuming.
Didn't look at him once as the guy was walking off the pitch, and then after in the interview said he needs to learn, and he needs to learn now. I don't know what football's like in Portugal. I don't watch that much Portuguese football, I've got to admit. I don't think he's used to the physicality that he got. But let me tell you something. That guy was physical with him, or Jensen or whatever he's called. But I've seen, and everyone in the chat, you've all seen much, much worse than that in terms of physicality in this league. He's going to have to deal with much, much worse than that. And the problem that he's got now is every single centre-back will be doing exactly that to him now. Probably 10 times worse. So he's actually let himself in for a little bit of a bad situation there. I think he let his team down massively.
The thing that he's done is Anderson, by the way, not Jensen. The thing that he's done is he's not just let himself, he's not just let the team down and all that shit. He's let all the other teams know how hot-headed he is. Do you know what I mean? And how to wind him up. Best believe everywhere he goes now, centre backs will be all over him. Like there's a highlight video that keeps going around Twitter of Anderson doing that, basically doing the whole thing, marking him the whole game, and he's getting frustrated. He goes in for a headbutt, literally like a couple of say 30 seconds before he actually headbutts him. He's behind him and throws his head back for a headbutt already. Do you know what I mean? So he's already pissed off at that point, and that's why Anderson's fuming. That's why he points at him and says, "Look, what's that for? Do you know what I mean? What are you doing?" And he turns around and butts him. It's you can't be doing like that. And if he keeps going in that way, this guy's gonna play no games.
Yeah,
he's gonna play no games because he's gonna keep getting sent off. He needs to learn, innit? He basically needs to learn to keep a lid on it. But do you know what I mean? Defenders are gonna be all over him, basically trying to rattle him up.
Yeah,
if you're a defender now, bro, you're doing that. You're watching that and going,
of course, yeah.
I'm going to be all over this guy when we play him because look at that. He just got himself sent off. Arguably, you'd say they look better with him on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? They looked really good when he was off the pitch. I was well confused. I was like, these don't look like they got a man down.
No, he needs to sort that attitude. I'm sure he will because Klopp won't accept it. But
yeah, of course.
But the big thing about this is, and I think people are underreacting to what's happened in the first 2 weeks. People are going, it's only match day 2, match day 3 now. Mate, do you not understand? To win this Premier League, you can't be dropping that many games, that many points. Liverpool last season lost 2 games. In fact, look at City, because at the end of the day, we won the league, so you need to beat what City did last season. City last season lost 3 games and drawn 6. You know what I'm saying? So if we do that again, Liverpool have only got 4 draws and 3 losses in 36 more matches. It's not a lot. And I get what people are saying is, it's only match day 3. I'm not saying that they're not going to win the league, but I'm saying to win this league, you've got to be pretty much perfect. And they've already dropped, points in the first 2 games. They're playing Man United next, which granted, they should easily get the 3 points. But United are also in a desperate situation as well. So they need the 3 points.
It's easy to put it this way, that if United beat Liverpool, United go above them, and we're all laughing at United start of the season.
Yeah.
United beat Liverpool, United go above them.
It is mad. It is.
And United are sitting in 20th, bro.
Yeah. No, for sure. Guys, let me know what you think about the Liverpool game, man. It was absolutely wild, and I know it's only match day 3, but to draw 2 games in your first 2 matches, when last season the Premier League champions Man City only drew 6 and lost 3, it's not a great start. You know what I mean? I get it, it's only match day 3, but it's not great. And City now have another 3 winnable games. In fact, 4 winnable games. We have 4 more winnable games. Obviously, we've got Newcastle coming up at the weekend. That's not going to be tricky. It's not going to be an easy game. We tend to do well against Eddie Howe's sides, but it is Newcastle, and we don't really know what's going to happen now with obviously their team, obviously with their money and the strengthening that they've done. So City could go on a 6-match winning streak in the first 6 games, and Liverpool have already drawn 2 games. They've got United coming up next, which won't be easy. Well, I say it won't be easy. I genuinely don't know what to expect from that game, because you'd expect Liverpool to walk all over them and score 4 or 5.
Yeah, you'd expect United to just roll over and it just be done.
United has to put in a performance. Salah has to start putting in performances. I've seen a couple of Liverpool fans starting to worry about Mohamed Salah again, because he didn't have a great end to the season last year. He needs to get right back on it. No Darwin Núñez. I think Jota's injured. Firmino's not really doing it these days. The midfield is absolutely trash. I've been saying for so long all summer that they need to buy a goal-scoring midfielder, and it's Henderson, Milner and Harvey Elliott as your 3 at the moment. Wild, man. Pep Guardiola says Romero versus Spurs versus Núñez. Romero from Spurs versus Núñez. I think because they're both hot-headed. Is that what you're saying? I think that's what you're saying.
Fighting it, like, do you know what I mean? Like, Núñez will get wound up heavily by that.
Romero's been good, though. Good signing. Harris with a 5 says Núñez better not try and headbutt Father Ruben, like headbutting a brick wall.
Facts.
I'd say let him go headbutting, bro. Let him go headbutting.
Let him
get a game sent off.
Get it kick off straight away.
Did you see as well, bro, that Núñez's first game back's Goodison Park? I don't know if it's Goodison Park, but it's Everton.
Is it?
Yeah, let me see if it's at Goodison Park. It is at Goodison Park. That's his first game back.
Big.
That's his first game back, mate. That's going to be absolutely nasty, and Everton fans going to get him riled up, mate. He might not even play. Klopp might just be like, "No, I can't risk you in this game, mate, because if you get sent off again, we're in serious." I don't know if this is a thing. Am I making this up? But if you get 2 violent conducts, does the second one go to 4 games? Or 5 games, or does it stick at 3?
If you get basically have a red, serve you 3, have a red.
Yeah, if you get 2 in one season, does it go? I have a feeling this could be complete BS. I'm just asking the chat. If you get violent conduct,
5 games,
it goes for 5 games. That's
what?
crazy.
So you'd get 3, get a red card, then have another 5 out.
Yeah. That's my understanding, and chat saying that's wild. If true.
Wild, that. And the thing is as well on Liverpool right now is, yes, they've only drawn 2, and yes, it's only game week 2, right? And it is what it is. And I know, like obviously, like you were saying before about the points drops and stuff. There is a lot of that still to go. I mean, I imagine we will drop points in a season. We're not going to go invincible. Yeah. But the pressure that's on them now is massive. Because especially if we beat Newcastle, I'm not sure what time the games play this weekend.
We play Sunday. They play Monday.
Oh, there you go. So we play before them again. Yeah. So we play before them again against Newcastle. If we beat Newcastle, the pressure then from Liverpool is massive because they're already dropping points in the first 2 games. They need to win that game.
Yeah.
They need to win that game to basically get themselves back up and get their season kick-started. And that's pressure. That's massive pressure on that team. And that should suit into United's favours. But then obviously United are under massive pressure as well to keep Ten Hag in a job.
You know what, right? I try and be fair on this channel. Obviously I'm a City fan and I've got City bias. But I'm looking at Liverpool's fixtures and I do feel like they've been a bit murked, bro. United, right? So Crystal Palace, yeah? Well, first of all, if we start from the Fulham, early kick-off. That's never nice. Drew. Liverpool Palace, Monday night football. That's never nice. United, Monday night football. That's not nice. Then they've got Bournemouth at home on a 3 p.m. Saturday. That's a chiller. Then they've got Newcastle at home on a Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Again, these night games when these teams are getting up for it, hanging. And then they've got another early kickoff Saturday against Everton away from home. Yeah. They've actually got some pretty grim fixtures there, man. And so yeah, they've not got an easy run. If you look at City's fixtures, we got winnable games. That's why we said when we beat West Ham on the first game of the season, how big that result was. Because everyone was, I think most people were expecting a bit of a dodgy start, to be honest. We played West Ham there twice last season, failed to win either time. We had a pretty poor pre-season in many people's opinions. West Ham played 6 games. And everyone thought, this could be a bit of a nasty result, this. But we'd have got the win, and then we could kick on then, and we could potentially win 6 games in a row. Sick start, man.
It's so far. Yeah, so far so good. I mean, obviously, all you need to do is go back and look at our start last year. We lost against Tottenham, didn't we? Straight away, we ended up quite far off the pack, who were leading the title race. I think we ended up being. I think Chelsea when we played Chelsea, they had the chance to go 9 points clear of us. But then we still won the league, so a lot can change. But whilst it's like this, we can just enjoy it. Enjoy whilst like this. It's only game week 2. But the thing is this is what happens. This is the way that Liverpool and City make this Premier League now. Every point matters. Yeah. This is the way that it is. It's so competitive. It's almost like that City and Liverpool have been in their own league for the past couple of years, and it's just them two against each other. Who's gonna slip? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Fortunately for us, for the last 2 years, it's been us winning it. Do you know what I mean? Football, for the majority, it's been us winning it. But do you know what I mean? It's to see them drop points early, it's nice. It's a nice little bumper.
Well, if you think about it, bro, we've already got a loss in the bank.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's pretty mad, if you ask me. After match day 3, you've already got a loss. Yeah, because we're on 6 and they're on 2. So we've already got a loss in the bank. That's what you want to be having. You want to have these, like, get out of jail free cards, the L card, you know what I mean, where if you lose, you stay above them. That's what it's all about. You don't want to be going into a game thinking you have to win, because if you don't and they win, boom, you're overtaking you.
Bro, look at the situation that we're in, right? And in the next 4 games, if we keep winning our game, we go on a 6-match winning streak, yeah?
Yeah.
I guarantee, bro, the media will say that we're ruining football. It'll go back to this. When we're winning and on a good run, it's always that City are ruining football. Well, Liverpool are winning on a good run. It's never that. But when we're winning that, it's always we're ruining football. So best believe, get prepared for ruining football things to start coming out, because that is going to happen. 100% that's going to happen. If we keep winning and other teams keep dropping points, that's going to happen.
The thing is, though, we've not had our hard fixtures yet. Our hard fixtures come September, October. You know what I mean? We've got Tottenham, United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Brighton, I'd say, are a difficult side now, and Leicester City, who, I don't know, actually. I don't know if they are a difficult side anymore with their lack of signings. But yeah, that's obviously when our difficult period comes. David comes with a $5 dono. Says, did you see Conor Moore's impression of Pep celebrating winning the league title this year after there's only 2 games? So for it, yeah. And I also seen another one that he did where he was like, I don't know if you've obviously not got Sky Sports, but you know who they all are. You know what I mean? All the Sky Sports punditry, and he did one of them as well. That was pretty funny. He's a pretty good impression. I'll say pretty good. Like I'm good at it. He's very, very good at what he does. So yeah, guys, go check him out. It's pretty funny. I'm pretty sure he has like a YouTube channel as well. I see him on Twitter, but
he does.
It is. Anything else, Bray? A bit off topic there, but I guess it was due.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, like, it's weird because this is the first stream like that you've been back in it, so it's. I feel like there's loads to catch up on, but we've pretty much done that. Do you know what I mean, like,
Delap's going Stoke.
Oh yeah, Delap is going to
Issa
Stoke.
Kabore's going.
Oh, Sergio Gomez. Issa Kabore's gone.
Sergio Gomez.
Delap's going to Stoke, and Sergio Gomez is now our left back.
Yeah, he's a City fan as well. Kabore's gone to Olympique Marseille. Marseille have a buy option worth 20 mil.
Yeah. We do have a buyback.
Yeah, if that gets activated, City will have a buyback clause. You'd assume in a region of 30 to 35 million. So that's good. I think that's a good thing.
Romeo Lavia, bro, smashed it apparently.
He's
absolutely smashed it for Southampton the other day. So fortunately we have a buyback. I see a lot of people saying it was a mistake to let him go. However, I don't agree. I think having him gone and having a buyback is a very good thing, because he's getting the minutes that he needs. Then it's not just a loan, but he's getting the minutes that he needs in that first team.
Yeah, you're right. He needed to be sold so he could play week in, week out. If you loan him out, he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna get the same minutes if you loan him out, because if he has a bad game, where's I always say this, but where's the sort of desire for the club who's got him on loan to keep playing him if he's not playing very well, if they've only loaned him? He's not their player. They don't really care about his development that much, you know what I mean? They just care about him performing on the pitch. If you sell him, then they have a little bit more investment in him. They are going to play him through the rough times. So yeah, it'll be interesting. He will have a rough period. At some point he'll go through a rough period, and that'll be the moment that it might
make or break, innit?
Yeah, that'll dictate his future. If he comes through it and does well, fair dues, he'll probably go straight to the top. But if not, then obviously that's the moment. Everyone's loving him now. Yeah, that's great. We all know what he can do. We all seen him in the academy and that. But it's when he goes through them rough moments, where he will. He's only a young lad, different country and that. Have to see how he gets on.
The one thing that we haven't spoke about, one last thing, brother, I haven't spoke about at all, and Neil just put it in the chat there. And it was Tuchel versus Conte, bro.
Oh yeah,
Tuchel versus Conte. Love to see it.
I've never really liked that Tuchel guy. I've always thought he's been a bit boring. I don't take away the fact that he's a good manager. You know what I mean? But I don't like I think he's a bit boring as a football coach. And I just thought, I don't know what his problem was with Conte. I don't think he did anything wrong, Conte, at all.
Did you see at the end of it, right? At the end of it, the handshake.
Yeah.
Where he didn't let go of his hand.
Yeah, weird.
Right? And do you see what he said? You look at me in the eyes when you shake my hand. Bro,
yeah,
Sean Dyche, there's a video of Sean Dyche going to shake his hand, and he just put his hand aside, didn't look at him.
Yeah, nice.
Do you know what I mean? So you know what I mean? It's absolute bullshit. It's bullshit. They were both just fuming, innit?
I'll tell you now for a fact, I've got a bet on Tuchel being sacked by the end of the season. I think he'll be gone by the end of the season.
Is it by the end of the season? I thought it was first to be sacked.
No.
Right,
I got a bet by the end of the season. I think he'll be gone, man, by the end of the season. I just don't think. I think they're spending so much money. They're going to expect maybe not a title push, but they're going to expect them not to be too far behind. And I just think that the way they play football, man, the draw. I said this last season. I was proved right. I said it right at the start of the season. I said they draw too many games. Said that. Look how many games they drew. And I think they'll go through the same issue again. You know what I mean? They've not got a proper striker in there. So, anyway.
It is wild. Do you know what I mean? They got rid of Werner. He scored on his debut. Do you know what I mean? They have no strikers at the football club.
Nah. And if you think Sterling's going to whack in 20 plus goals in the Premier League in a season, I just don't see it. Anyways, we'll be back later on. Thank you very much for joining us. Bernardo Silva is staying at Manchester City, it appears. So that is a reason to celebrate. Hope you've enjoyed the stream, guys. Make sure you smash the like on it. We're 20 likes away from 500. Subscribe to the channel as well if you're new. Go check out BetVictor's video. That's link is in the description. It's a really good video. They just murk United for 20 minutes pretty much. It's really, really funny and pretty interesting. So go check that out. Let them know City Xtra sent you. Subscribe to the channel, like it as well, and we'll see you in the next one. See you in a bit.
In a bit.